Hello everyone. Today we are going to see elimination reactions of halogen derivatives or elimination of hydrogen and halogen from adjacent carbon atom is called as dehydrohalogenation. Okay. D means removal. Okay, so therefore the name of reaction is dehydrohalogenation. Hydro means removal of hydrogen. Okay, and halogenation means halogen. That means the removal of hydrogen and halogen from the adjacent carbon atom is called as dehydrohalogenation or elimination reaction. Okay, so we are going to see dehydrohalogenation of alkyl halides. Okay, now alkyl halides means compounds containing carbon halogen bond. Okay, if we consider here halogen atom is present on one carbon atom and hydrogen atom is present on adjacent carbon atom, or we can also say alkyl halides having a alpha hydrogen atom. Okay, that means if we consider this general alkyl halide, okay, we did not shown here the alkyl groups. Okay, generally we have taken only the carbon carbon bond containing one halogen atom and containing beta hydrogen. Okay, now the generally carbon atom bearing functional group is called as alpha carbon. Okay, and the carbon adjacent to the carbon atom which contains a functional group is called as beta carbon. Okay, if the beta carbon contains hydrogen, then in presence of base, okay, now, due to the electronegativity of this halogen atom, these protons or hydrogen becomes acidic due to this is the polar character of carbon-carbon bond. As here is the development of partial positive charge on carbon atom which pulls the electrons from adjacent carbon atom towards itself. Okay, and therefore these protons becomes acidic protons, and these acidic protons can be easily abstracted by the base. Okay, and generally we are using NaOH or KOH. Okay, now here we have to mention here, or we have to remember here specifically KOH or NaOH. Okay, if we are going to use the KOH, then we have to use here alcoholic KOH, because aqueous KOH is act as a nucleophile, that is OH minus is act as a nucleophile, and it shows a substitution reaction instead of elimination reaction. Therefore base, that is alcoholic potassium hydroxide. Okay, so we can simply generalize when alkyl halides heated in presence of base like alcoholic potassium hydroxide, it gives carbon carbon double bond, or we can say it gives alkenes. Okay, so therefore, so if base gives electron pair to this hydrogen, then carbon hydrogen bond will shift to here in carbon carbon double bond, and this halogen can be removed with their bonding pair of electron. Okay, and the formation of carbon carbon double bond takes place. Okay, so such type of reactions is known as dehydrohalogenation reaction, or simply we can consider if alcohols are there, we can also write the same reaction, but the reaction name will be dehydration, because there will be a removal of H2O water molecule. Okay, that means the elimination reaction can be shown by a different functional groups. Okay, now as this is if we consider this alkyl halide is symmetrical alkyl halide. Okay, if the alkyl halide is symmetrical alkyl halide, or if the alkyl halide having only one carbon bearing beta hydrogens, then only one product will be formed. But if the alkyl halide is unsymmetrical alkyl halide which bears the number of beta hydrogens, then the probability of formation of products increases. Okay, so we can see the example for the unsymmetric dehydrohalogenation. Okay, if we considered here 2-bromobutane, if we considered 2-bromobutane, CH3, CH2, CH, Br, CH3. Okay, here the bromine atom is at the second carbon atom. Okay, now this carbon atom, it is called as the alpha carbon atom because it contains the functional group. Okay, and as it contains the functional group, these two carbon atoms are beta carbon atoms, and the hydrogens present on these two carbon atoms are beta hydrogens. Okay, so for the simplicity we can mention here beta carbon and we can mention here beta dash. Okay, to distinguish the different carbon atoms. Okay, so here the two beta hydrogens are present, and here three beta dash hydrogens are present. Okay, now if this compound is heated with alcoholic KOH, then it will form two different products. Okay, so we can see how it gives two different products. Okay, if we consider here 2-bromobutane, once again CH3, CH2, CH, Br, CH3. First upon we will see for this beta hydrogens. Okay, if the proton of this carbon atom is abstracted by base, that is OH minus. Okay, so if the proton is abstracted by this hydroxide ion from this carbon atom, the bond will develop between these two carbon atoms. Okay, and the bromine will be removed from this side. Okay, so there will be a formation of CH3, CH, double bond, CH, CH3. Okay, see, and the name of this compound is 1, 2, 3, 4. That is but2-ene. Total number of carbon atoms 4, and the name of the parent is butane. Okay, and as it contains the carbon-carbon double bond, ANE is replaced by ENE, and therefore name of the compound is butene. Okay, and we have to mention the position of functional group, and the position of functional group is second, therefore the but2-ene. Okay, so remember the product for the removal of beta hydrogen atom will be but2-ene. Okay, now we'll see for the second one. Okay, now consider again CH3, CH, CH2, CH3, sorry, not CH2 here, Br, CH, Br. Okay, now if the base has abstracted proton from this carbon atom, okay, one of these three hydrogens, one is abstracted by the base. Okay, so by the abstraction of base, the carbon double bond will form between these two terminal carbon atoms, and bromine can get depart. Okay, and it forms a CH3, CH2, CH, double bond, CH2. Okay, and the name of this compound is 1-butene, or we can say it as a but1-ene. Okay, so how much products we got? We got two different products. Okay, first one is but2-ene and second one but1-ene. Okay, so we have to remember there here, that is the number of products are based on the presence of number of beta hydrogen atoms. Okay, that means unsymmetrical alkenes gives the more than one product. Okay, and the major product is depend on the stability of the product, and to decide the stability of product we are using a one rule, and that rule is nothing but the Sedgwick's rule. Okay, and as the Sedgwick has given rule for the stability of alkene form, therefore the name it is called as a Sedgwick's elimination. Okay, now what is the Sedgwick's elimination? In the now we are going to consider only for the alkyl halides, therefore particularly it is mentioned here dehydrohalogenation. Okay, we can write there dehydration also, or another any elimination reaction also. Okay, so the statement for the alkyl elimination of alkyl halides is that in dehydrohalogenation reaction, the preferred product, that alkene which has the greater number of alkyl groups attached to double bonded carbon atom. Okay, that means if we considered here C double bond C, okay, and the two valencies are left from the two carbon atoms. Okay, now more is the number of alkyl groups attached to these carbon atoms, more will be the stability of the alkene formed. Okay, if the all four valencies are satisfied, or the two valency of first carbon atom and two valencies of second carbon atom is satisfied by alkyl group, the product will be more stable. Okay, if it is substituted by three alkyl groups, then it having a less stability than that of four substituted alkene. Now the three substituted alkene is having a more stability than that of the two substituted alkene, and the two substituted alkene is more stable than the one substituted alkene. So we have to mention here greater is the substitution, or greater is number of alkyl groups attached to carbon-carbon double bond, greater will be the stability of alkene. Okay, we'll see the stability order for the substituted alkene. See Cr2 double bond Cr2, that is C here, R, R, and here R is the alkyl group Cr2, Cr2, having a greater stability than that of CH2Cr. Now here how much alkyl groups are? 2 on this carbon atom and 1 on this carbon atom. That means the 3 alkyl groups are present on carbon-carbon double bond. Okay, now this one is the more stable than Cr2 double bond CHR. Okay, and this one is more stable than Cr2 double bond CH. Cr2 double bond CH2. Okay, and CHR double bond CHR. This one is greater stable. This one is highly stable than that of CHR double bond CHR. Okay, now remember one thing here very carefully. Now this alkene also contains two alkyl groups. Okay, this alkene also contains two alkyl groups. This alkene also contains two alkyl groups. Okay, but this alkyl group, it is 1,1 di substituted. 1,1 di substituted. This alkene is 1,1 di substituted. Okay, while this alkene is 1,2 di substituted. So remember carefully here, 1,1 di substituted alkene is more stable than 1,2 di substituted alkene. Okay, so we have to remember this stability order for the alkenes in the elimination reaction, that is dehydrohalogenation reaction. Okay, now we'll see one important point. What difference between elimination and substitution. Okay, now generally tertiary alkyl halides undergoes elimination reaction while the primary alkyl halides prefers the substitution reaction because of the tertiary alkyl halides are sterically hindered alkyl halides and therefore it needs to relief from the strain and therefore it tends to undergo elimination reaction while the primary alkyl halides are not sterically hindered and they can easily undergo substitution reaction and therefore primary alkyl halides prefers substitution reaction while the tertiary alkyl halides prefers elimination reaction. Okay, second one, bulkier electron rich species prefer to act as a base abstracting proton thus favors elimination. Okay, if we consider higher species then that higher species which will prefer to abstract a proton from, or we can say acidic proton, so as to it will undergo elimination while the substitution reaction favors comparatively weaker bases which prefers to act as a nucleophile. Okay, before this also I told you alcoholic KOH and aqueous KOH. Generally, if we use the aqueous KOH, then the reaction will undergo substitution reaction or the reaction will be substitution reaction. But when we used alcoholic KOH, then the reaction is preferentially elimination reaction. Okay, and the last point is less polar solvent and high temperature favors elimination reaction while low temperature and polar solvent favors substitution reaction. So these are the few points we have to remember for the to decide the criteria whether the reaction will be elimination reaction or whether the reaction is substitution reaction. We'll see the next reaction, reactions of reactions of alkyl halides with active metals. Okay, now last year we have seen Grignard's reagent. Okay, that means when the alkyl halides, if we consider alkyl halides, when alkyl halides reacts with magnesium metal, okay, then it forms alkyl magnesium halides RMgX. Okay, alkyl magnesium halides. Okay, and these alkyl magnesium halides are called as Grignard's reagent. Okay, so the tendency of alkyl halides which shows the reaction with metals. Okay, and generally which metals? Metals like sodium, metals like sodium, magnesium and cadmium. Okay, preferentially sodium, magnesium and cadmium. Okay, and with any alkyl halides like alkyl chlorides, alkyl bromides, alkyl iodides. Okay, so due to the polarity, the insertion of metal in alkyl and halogen atom takes place and such compounds are called as organometallic compounds. Okay, so this alkyl magnesium halide is a organometallic compound. Okay, so we will see the reactions related to organometallic compounds, or simply we can say reactions of alkyl halides with active metals. Okay, so first upon we will see reaction with magnesium metal. Simply just we have to remind this reaction as we have seen this reaction in 11th standard. Okay, and what is the reaction when alkyl halides treated with magnesium metal? Now here one reaction condition we have to remember very carefully, that is the in presence of dry ether as a solvent, that is organic solvent. Okay, so alkyl halides reacts with magnesium metal or when treated with magnesium metal in presence of, now in presence of dry ether, and the role of dry ether, it acts as only solvent. In presence of dry ether, it gives RMgX. Okay, and this RMgX, it is called as a Grignard's reagent. Grignard's Grignard's reagent. Now the Grignard's is the name of the scientist who found this reagent, therefore it is, or who found this reaction, therefore it is called as a Grignard's reagent. Okay, now see, alkyl halide react with magnesium in presence of dry ether, it gives alkyl magnesium halide, that is RMgX, and it is called as a Grignard's reagent. Okay, now Grignard's reagent react with water or the compounds containing hydrogen attached to electronegative atom. Okay, for example, if we consider the alkyl magnesium halides reacts with alcohol. Okay, now the alcohols in which ROH, hydrogen atom, is attached to electronegative oxygen atom. Okay, so CH3OH, then it forms RH, that means here, now generally alkyl are electropositive. Okay, or in alkyl halides carbon atom is electropositive and the halogen atom is electronegative, but due to the insertion of this magnesium metal or the metal, this carbon, okay, carbon, if we consider carbon metal bond, okay, so metals are electropositive. Okay, and as the metals are electropositive, this carbon will be electronegative, and this is a exception. So we have to remember here, in organometallic compounds alkyl groups are electronegative. Okay, and due to this R minus abstract this proton, or we can say it forms a hydrogen and it gives hydrocarbon with Mg. Now the magnesium is divalent and already one valency is satisfied by halogen, so another second valency will be satisfied by this CH3O minus, or we can say here MgX and OCH3, that is methoxy group. Okay, so same we can see reaction of alkyl magnesium halides with ammonia. Now in ammonia, nitrogen is electronegative. Okay, and the hydrogen is electropositive, and we are going to treat it with alkyl magnesium halides RMgX. Okay, and what I said, this one is electronegative and this one is electropositive. Okay, so it will accept proton and it forms a bond between this. Okay, so it gives RH plus Mg, X as it is previously, and here NH2. Okay, so this type of reaction will happen when the alkyl magnesium halide reacts with ammonia. Okay, so remember such type of reaction. Okay, see, I have mentioned here. Okay, see, the carbon pulls the electrons from the electropositive magnesium, and hence the carbon in Grignard's reagent is electronegative and acts as a nucleophile, and as it acts as a nucleophile, it can accept a proton. Okay, so remember here, in organometallic compounds carbon atom carries negative charge, or alkyl group having a partial negative charge. Okay. We'll see next reaction, that is a Wurtz reaction. Okay, so we have to remember here Wurtz reaction. Simply just remember one thing, when 2 moles of alkyl halides, when 2 moles of alkyl halides react with sodium metal. Okay, it gives, now we have seen sodium chloride, sodium bromide, sodium iodide. Okay, so just what you have to do, you have to make this compound, and there will be a 2R group which can be attached to each other. That means R alkene plus twice of NaX. Okay, that means for simple you can make a statement, general statement for the Wood's reaction. When 2 moles of alkyl halides react with 2 moles of sodium metal in presence of dry ether as a solvent, it gives alkane with higher carbon atom, or it gives higher alkane with sodium halide. Okay, and this reaction is called as Wood's reaction, or this reaction we can also use for the preparation of higher alkanes. Okay, so if we have taken here methyl chloride, bromide, or iodide, anyone we can consider. Okay, if we have taken here CH3Br. Okay, if we have taken here 2 moles of CH3Br reacts with 2 sodium metal in presence of dry ether, in presence of dry ether. Okay, so it will give twice of NaBr, and this 2 CH3 combined with each other, it gives ethane CH3CH3 plus twice of NaBr. And this is the higher alkane. Higher alkane means in reactant only one carbon atom was there, and in product two carbon atoms are there. That means the number of carbon atoms are increased, and therefore it is called as the preparation methods for the higher alkanes. Okay, that, or we, if the same alkyl halide is used for this reaction, then the alkane is formed with double number of carbon atom than that of the reactant. Okay, but when we used a mixture of two different alkyl halides, then the three different products will be formed. Okay, we'll see one example for that. If we have taken one methyl bromide and one ethyl bromide, now here alkyl group is methyl and here alkyl group is ethyl. Okay, now the two different alkyl groups in reacts with sodium in presence of dry ether. So it will give ethane, propane, and butane. Okay, now here if we consider CH3 one alkyl group and C2H5 one alkyl group. Okay, now we are not taking generally by measuring only one alkyl group or only one methyl halide, only one ethyl halide. It is difficult to take. Generally we are taking in grams or in number of moles. Okay, so number of moles contains a large number of molecules. Okay, and we can, in mixture the large number of methyl groups are present, large number of ethyl groups are present. Okay, so this ethyl methyl group combines to form a ethane CH3CH3. This ethyl group combines to form C2H5 C2H5, that is a butane, that is CH3 CH2 CH2 CH3. Okay, and by the combination of one methyl group and one ethyl group we get propane CH3 CH2 CH3, that is propane. So if or when a mixture of alkyl halides, two different alkyl halides is used, all three possible alkanes are formed. Okay, so therefore here we have written three different products. So remember that these reactions are very much important regarding exam point of view and in all, that is the boards, CET, JEE, and as well as NEET. Okay, and the one drawback of Wood's reaction is that we cannot prepare methane by using Wood's reaction. Okay, now same we are going to see Wood's reaction. Wood's Fittig reaction. And the Wood's Fittig reaction means now whatever may be reaction is found by the Wood. That reaction is extended by the scientist Fittig, and therefore this reaction is known as Wood-Fittig reaction. Okay, and the major difference between Wood's reaction and Wood-Fittig reaction is that in Wood's reaction we have used only alkyl halides. Okay, but in Wood's-Fittig reaction, here 1 mole of aryl halide and 1 mole of alkyl halide is used. Okay, so therefore we have to mention there the reaction of aryl halides with alkyl halide and sodium metal in dry ether as a solvent to give substituted aromatic compound is known as Wood-Fittig reaction. Okay, now simply we can see if we have taken bromo or chlorobenzene. Okay, if we have taken here bromobenzene, okay, and reacts with methyl bromide, okay, CH3Br with sodium in presence of dry ether, in presence of dry ether. Okay, now these two bromine atoms will go with sodium. Okay, that means it forms a 2NaBr. It will form 2NaBr. Okay, and the remaining this methyl group and this phenyl group will combine to form here CH3. Okay, and therefore that is substituted. Halogen atom is replaced by methyl group of benzene ring. Therefore it is called as substituted aromatic compound, and this is the basic difference between Wood's reaction and Wood-Fittig reaction. That means one alkyl halide is aryl halide in Wood-Fittig reaction. Okay, so remember carefully. Okay, we'll see the next only Fittig reaction. Okay, now this Fittig reaction means both aryl halides. Okay, that means the reaction of aryl halides with sodium metal in presence of dry ether. The product is biphenyl, and the reaction is known as Fittig reaction. Okay, and therefore example chlorobenzene. How much mole we have taken? We have taken here 2 moles of chlorobenzene plus 2 sodium metal in presence of dry ether. It gives biphenyl with 2NaCl. Okay. Remember one thing very carefully, that is Wood's reaction. First one, what we have? Wood's reaction. For Wood's reaction, 2 moles of alkyl halides. Okay, reactants. For Wood-Fittig reaction, WURTZ. For Wood-Fittig reaction, one is aryl halide, and one is alkyl halide. React with sodium in presence of dry ether. Okay, it gives substituted aromatic compound. And third one, Fittig, only Fittig, that is 2 moles of aryl halides. 2 moles of aryl halides. Okay. So remember simply Wood's reaction, only 2 moles of alkyl halide. For Wood-Fittig reaction, 1 mole of aryl halide react with 1 mole of alkyl halide with sodium metal in presence of dry ether. Okay, and for the Fittig reaction, 2 moles of aryl halide react with sodium metal in presence of dry ether. Okay, so these are the basic differences between Wood's reaction, Wood's-Fittig reaction, and Fittig reaction. Okay, so we have completed here the reaction, these important reactions of this topic. Next time we will see reactions of haloarenes, that means the aromatic halides. Okay, so in that. I hope this video is useful for you. Okay, so thanks for watching.